Hello everyone, welcome to our second video of learning Linux. So last video we talked about a few things. We talked about ls, ls-l, ls-a, talk about the manual pages, we talked about nano, we talked about all the few things that you're more than welcome to go and look at it. In this video we're going to talk about a thing called chmod. Now in this we're going to learn about setting permissions. So first thing first is let's go ahead and switch back to our root. Now I don't want you guys to use sudo every time, so let's set a password for our root. So in here I'm going to set a password. So now what I just did, so for example, now you can just, instead of going sudo, you can just say su-root, and now you can just put a password, and now you're in, so you don't have to go through the trouble. Anyways, now we're gonna learn on how to create, or what the permission is. Yeah, the permissions. So now if you use this command name ls-l that we talked about earlier, that's why. So I put a space, that's why. So if you put this command ls-l, you'll see here all of these things. Let me go one back to our parent home directory so I have more things to show you guys. Now if I go ls-l again, you see a lot of all of this thing. For example, let's take a look at our tpm, which stands for temporary files. TMP, I don't know what I said. Yeah, TMP, which stands for our temporary files. Now if you see here, it starts with a D. D means directly, that means it's a folder. This right here starts with a dash, means that it's in a txt folder, a touch file, normal file. If you don't, let's see if it is. So I'm gonna cat the file, and inside of this it has all of this thing. So inside of that folder you had all of this thing that it's running our, basically our system. Now this right here, this means that you have the permission. That means there is no X behind it. That just means it's a dash. If it was a capital T, that means there was an X there. So let's go back. Let me create a folder named mkdir, let's say test1. And now if I go ls-l on test1, on test1, which is right here, our permission shows rwx. Now what you want to do, go ahead, get your browser and say chmod chart table, and you want to understand this. So right now rwx means basically read, write, and execute. W stands for write, R stands for read, X stands for execute. R just stands for you to having the folder. You cannot add anything to it, you cannot do anything, you just see what's inside of it. Write, you can change it, you can save it, but you cannot delete it. X, that means you can delete it. So this is what it is. Now rwx is 7. You see, rwx is 7. What is 7? 7 is octal number. 1000 or 011 or whatever. These are binary numbers. So for example, r-x, it's 5, and in binary it's 101. These are octal, these are binary. So let's change the permission so even I wouldn't have the permission. So in here I'm gonna say, let's do one by one. So in here, this first 3 is user. These 3 on the second one, it goes 3 by 3. These 3s is the group, and this 3 is other people. Now let me show you guys something real quick. In Windows, everyone uses this. So basically, let's say downloads folder. If I go to properties, security, there's, let's say, 10 people on your system. Now I don't want to give permission to, let's say, administrator, so I go edit and I give him, I don't want him to have full control. So that's how it works. So this is permissions. This is how it works in Linux, and it's super useful. So for security reasons, so I'm gonna say users which is u. Now minus, since I want to take all of this out, I'm going to say rwx. And then I'm going to say the folder name, text1. Now press enter. Now I'm going to say ls-l again. Now see, it took it out. Now time for everything. If I want everything gone, I can just go 0, 0 basically, because if you look at the chart again, the chart, let's see if I throw it out. If you look at the chart again, 0, 0, that means dash dash means no permissions. So I'm going to say chmod 0, 0, and I'm going to say test1. Now if I go ls-l again, press enter, no one has permissions. So now if I go cd inside a test, well, I think that will still work, but let's say if I create a user, he will not have the permission. And the reason it works is because root always will have the permission. So this is how it works. And let's say now I want to give only the read permission to all of them at the same time. I can go chmod, basically, what is it? Let's see. If I want to give the read permission, it's 4. So I can go 444 test 1. Now, whoa, why is my keyboard acting weird? Now if I go ls-l, all of them have permissions. That means as root, I can only have permissions. Group, anyone in my group, I can have permissions. Others can have permission. Now, you can do this both with octal numbers and you can do that with plain English. Now, what if I want to add W, let's say, to groups? So in here, I go chmod plus G. In here, now I'll go W. So I go chmod plus G, and I go W, and I go test1. Okay, maybe, okay, chmod plus G, W, and in here I can go G plus W, and in here I can specify the following. Now press enter. Now I go ls-l, press enter. You see how we got J. Now if I want to add, for example, X, I can go G again plus X. Now I can go test1. Oh, test1. I can go ls-l. There we go. Now this is what you can do. So in this video we're gonna learn on how to create a user now. So we're gonna go user add. Let's say I want to create a user named Mo, and now to check if you created that user or not, you can put this command. You can go cat space /etc/password, and now this is the directly where you can see, or the path where you can see you created a user, and in here it shows that I created the user. So now what I can do is set a password for Mo. So I'm gonna go Mo, set a password. There we go. So I made a password. Now what I can do is go inside of Mohammed or Mo's basically homepage. So now if I go inside of, let's say I wanna this is, you know what, I'm talking too fast. Let's take a break. So this is what I'm gonna do. So this is my computer right now as root. Let's say Mohammed is sitting here, and I can control it because we are in the same network, both of us. So now I'm root, I'm sitting upstairs, and Mo is one of my IT users sitting downstairs. So I'm gonna basically, and he's new, I'm gonna say a welcome message, and I'm gonna post it on his desktop, and I don't want him to be able to edit it, I just want him to see it. I don't want him to change it. And then in future, I'm gonna basically, we're gonna make this thing where he can basically talk to me during this file, and I don't want him to delete it. I just want him to talk to me back and edit it. So enough talking, let's do this. So I'm gonna go inside of Mohammed, basically home. So now I go inside of cd, inside of home. Now notice that it's not showing. That's why I gotta create home inside of Mo. Now that I created, I can go cd home Mo. Now I'm inside of his home. Now I can go mkdir desktop. Oh, now that I created this, I can go inside of his desktop and create a touch file named hello. Now in here I can go and edit his hello and say, my keyboard is just laggy, it's not hitting. I can say, hello, welcome to your first day. And I can go Control X, yes, save it. Now in here I have this. Now I want him to basically just be able to see it. So I'm gonna go, first thing first, I'm gonna give myself a full permission. So what I'm going to do is say chmod u plus x on hello. And now if I go ls-l here, now notice it's green, that means the permissions have changed. Now I have the full permission right here. So now since he's not in my group, I'm gonna take out everything in the group for security reasons. So I'm gonna say, because in future we're gonna do a lot of stuff in this file, and I will show you guys what I mean. So in group, I'm gonna say -r, and I'm gonna say hello. Once again, I'll go ls-l to see. Now I want him to basically just read it, and luckily this permission is already set to R. Now I'm gonna go cd, and let's switch to mo to check. So I'm gonna use smo, and if he goes inside of his desktop, he goes ls, there's a folder name hello, basically, yeah, hello. Now if he goes, now if he goes nano hello, there we go. So now that we're done, let me show you guys what it looks like. So I'm gonna log out of the system, and let's see if we actually did all of those things that I said. So now we should have a new username mo, and inside his desktop we should have a folder named desktop. Inside of that he should have a folder name hello. So see, there's mo, that means we already did that. So go ahead, set up the password that you created, and we're gonna go skip next, well, a lot of things. And inside of his desktop, there's a folder named hello. So that's the first thing he's gonna see. He's gonna see hello, welcome to your first day. Now he's not able to basically save it. Let's say he edited it, the save button doesn't work, and if he goes Control S, or if he just closes and says save as, saves it, and he's not able to do it. And even if he says replace, you don't have the permissions at the top set, so he's not able to do it. And yeah, I'm curious, can he delete it? Yeah, he cannot delete it either. So that's the things that we can do. Now for Mo, if he opens his terminal, you notice how he does not have permission. That's the next video. Now that's the next video that we're going to be talking about. So where I'm going to talk about giving root permission to the users. But let's go back to our root. So in here I'm going to open my terminal once again. Now I'm going to go switch to root, and let's do this. Now it's going to do something. Now let's assume that Mo is from his computer, is talking to me. And now Mo comes up to me and the boss gives him permission. So this is the way that we communicate. We don't communicate through email, we communicate through this way. So now if I let's go back to Mo home page and give him permission. The boss is like, hey, I want you guys to communicate during that note. So I'm gonna say cd home. Now I'm gonna inside of Mo, and in here I'll go inside of desktop. Now in here, if I go ls-l, now I'm gonna give him the permission to be able to read and write. So I'm gonna say plus, so in here I'm gonna say o plus w hello. Now if I go ls-l, see it changed. So let's switch to Mo now. Now this is Mo, he's gonna go inside his desktop, and this is him actually doing it on his computer. Now in here, Mo, let's say he wants to say something to me. See, now he's able to edit. So he's gonna be like, hey, thank you, can you please change my password? This is both of parties that have to check it every day, and notice how I was able to save it. So let's exit out of Mo. So now this is the root. He goes to check, so I can go cat hello, and now this is what Mo said. So I'm, as a basically a root user, I'm gonna be like, yes, sure. Now let's see if all of that actually work and I was able to save it. So now if I go basically switch to users, this is, let's say the next morning, this is what Mo's gonna see. Opens the file, hello, it says yes, sure. So basically that's it about permissions. It's more complicated that in future stuff people need to protect their stuff. Let's say they have like a whole password or whole basically their Bitcoin password, all of those things. So this is what permissions are. And a lot of hackers actually get into your Kali machines, but since the permission is off, no one can access it. So this is why you need permissions, and this is why Linux is the most secure operating system. Now, next video we're going to be talking about how to disable users, how to give the root permissions. So for example, how to make Mo become the root as well, and how to do a lot of other stuff. So thank you for watching.